WLBT, 3 on your side. WLBT News starts now.
Fast food workers are hitting the streets of Jackson today demanding more money. I'm Ashley Garner, and I'll have all the details coming up in a live report.
Plus, scary moments at a local hospital when a gun goes off inside the emergency room, grazing a small child.
We'll tell you what we know about the incident and the toddler's condition straight ahead at 6.
And it's tough to see this morning as you head out because we have a lot of fog on the map, so go carefully. The Alpha Insurance Skycam showing you a really foggy view of downtown Jackson. Again, this morning, hard to see. Use those low beams. Temp at 60 degrees in Jackson. We're watching the threat for rain and storms during the day today. We don't have any on our map right now, but you can see a lot of showers and storms in areas surrounding the state of Mississippi. We'll talk about when to expect rain and storms and when the fog will lift coming up in a couple minutes.
New overnight, fire officials are working to determine the cause of a house fire. The blaze started around 2 this morning on Marion Dunbar Street in Jackson. Division Fire Chief Cleotha Sanders tells us crews got the blaze under control shortly after they arrived on the scene. No injuries were reported.
An investigation is underway after a toddler was shot inside a Jackson emergency room.
It happened yesterday at Merritt Health Central, the former Central Mississippi Medical Center. Police say the woman had a loaded gun in her purse and it went off when she dropped the bag. The bullet hit a vending machine, ricocheted, then grazed the cheek of the woman's 2-year-old child. The child was treated for non-life-threatening injuries. It's unclear why the woman had the gun. Merritt Health Central does not allow weapons on its property. That mother could face civil charges, including fines, according to local attorney John Reeves. He says she did not violate any criminal law by having the gun concealed in her purse. That's thanks to recent changes in state law. But she did violate hospital rules. That could be handled in a civil case.
Now, as far as the child goes, it was a mistake. It'd be like having a car accident and your child gets hurt in the car. You're not guilty of a crime for that. It's an accident.
The woman's name has not been released. She was taken from the hospital for questioning at the Jackson Police Headquarters.
So, ladies, here's a question for you. If you own a gun, are you aware of how to properly carry it inside your purse? Annette Pegler talked to experts and shows us the safest way to carry a firearm inside your handbag.
If you're a woman carrying a handgun, experts say you want to make sure it's in a dedicated compartment of your purse. You also want to make sure that it's in a model-specific holster and that it's covering the trigger guard.
If things shift just right in the purse, you could have a tragedy.
That's exactly what happened Wednesday morning when a gun discharged inside a woman's purse, injuring her child. Cliff Cargill is a firearms training expert at Boondocks Academy and says that could have easily been prevented.
If you put it in a purse or even in your pocket and it doesn't have a holster that covers the trigger guard, things like keys, change, ink pens, makeup products, anything that can get inside of that trigger guard is a danger.
There are purses made specifically for women who choose to carry. These types of purses range anywhere from $75 to $200.
They do have very specific compartments in the purse, and the firearms fit inside of a holster, and you can see it's velcroed where you can place the holster at a certain angle inside the purse.
If that's not an option, Cargill says you can always invest in a holster. Just make sure the gun is not around anything else inside of the purse.
Anything that could get down inside of the trigger guard and cause pressure on the trigger, that could cause a negligent discharge. It could be something as simple as an ink pen. It could be something like your car keys, anything that can get down inside the trigger guard. This is a recipe for disaster.
In Raymond, Annette Pegler, 3 on your side.
Lots of folks on the coast are praying for the recovery of a 3-year-old boy.
Xander Soche is suffering from burns and other injuries in what authorities say was a result of abuse by his father. A prayer vigil last night came on the same day the father, 24-year-old Nathan McCrory, made his initial court appearance. McCrory's father and grandfather both attended yesterday's hearing. They don't believe McCrory is the one responsible for the toddler's injuries.
I don't think Blake did that, no. Blake ain't going to do nothing like that to a baby. You know, that's because he loves that little boy too much. I want to talk to Blake and see what happens and all, you know. But just like he said, he said the little boy fell down the stairs.
If convicted, McCrory faces anywhere from 5 years to life in prison. A conference will continue this morning in Biloxi, focusing on identifying, investigating, and preventing child abuse. More than 300 child advocates from across Mississippi are learning the latest and most effective methods to help victims of violent crimes and their families. One of the biggest goals is for various agencies to work together to interview children who suffered abuse without causing additional trauma.
Happening today, the Jackson Police Department will host a National Crime Victims' Rights Safety Fair. The event kicks off at 10 this morning at the Jackson Medical Mall. The event is free and open to the public. For more information, you can call one of the numbers on your screen. There may be longer lines and delays this morning at some of your favorite fast food spots.
That's because dozens of workers in Jackson plan to walk off their jobs fighting for higher wages. Ashley Garner joining us live in Jackson this morning to explain. Good morning, Ashley.
Good morning, Joy and Wilson. In a few hours, fast food workers here in Jackson will rally outside of this McDonald's here on Lakeland Drive. Now, their protesting is a part of an actual nationwide protest today. Workers are demanding their pay be raised to $15 an hour. They also want the right to form a union. McDonald's employees are not the only fast food workers on the picket lines today. Employees at several other fast food restaurants, along with labor and community organizations, will also participate in nationwide protests today as well. Today's rally is one of 300 expected nationwide, and there will be 2 protests here today in Jackson. The first one begins this morning at 8:15 here at the Lakeland Drive McDonald's in Jackson, and the second protest will be held this evening at 5:15 at the Terry Road McDonald's. Reporting live in Jackson, Ashley Garner, 3 on your side.
All right, Ashley, 6:06 now. Time for traffic and weather together. Let's take a live look outside here at I-55 and Briarwood Drive. You can see the fog that Julia's been talking about this morning. It's not having an immediate impact on traffic in terms of accidents. We've checked with our law enforcement sources. They tell us there are no major accidents that are slowing traffic down so far this morning. Do take it easy as you head out. Keep your low beams on, like we always tell you, and maybe give yourself some extra time to get to where you're going. For the latest on the first alert forecast and the fog, let's check in now with Julia. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. And yeah, we're seeing again a decent amount of fog this morning, especially around the Jackson metro area, in the downtown area, in Hinds County, Rankin County, also in Pike County, dealing with that fog this morning. First alert Doppler radar, though, is clear. We don't have rain on our map, but we do have rain in surrounding areas, and that's going to approach us as the day goes on. So be mindful. It's a good idea to have an umbrella on hand, even though it's not raining right this second. 60 in Jackson and in Brandon right now, 63 Vicksburg, 63 Prentice. The temperatures are going to warm up as we go throughout the course of the day. I'll talk about the highs and what you can expect for today and the weekend coming up after this.